63 degrees outdoors, 67 indoors. And that's not because they turned the heat on, that's because of the passive solar radiation the last few days. It's a few minutes before 8 o'clock and we're going out the door without any T-Rex or Steve. I haven't gone out the door without T-Rex in a long time. Oh, it's pretty. Look at the color coming on. The sun's just getting above the horizon. At 8 o'clock, the sun's just starting to show up, and so is peak foliage. That red oak certainly is red. I should wait for the sun to get on it. I'm not going to take that long, though, hopefully. So I am barefoot, and there is dew in the grass. We had a dense fog this morning that just burned off. Now, there are a couple kinds of fog. There's advection fog that moves in with a southeasterly wind often around here. And then there's radiation fog, which forms when the radiational cooling gets your temperature down to the dew point. And the dew point kind of came up last night as the temperature went down. So a little advection fog. Let's look at the back door front, how far it made it. This was last evening. You can see the boundary right over Cape Cod. So Boston did get to 72 yesterday, and we were in the 70s down here, right on that boundary. So that leftover boundary and the clear sky last evening, could see the comet again, and all the stars, and so many shooting stars too. We're getting into that meteors, which I'm not ready prepared to cover. But so the moisture is here, and this morning's the humidity, and this morning's temperature map clearly shows another anomalous warm day in the Northeast, when at 7 a.m. you look at the Champlain Valley of Vermont, and it's 65 to 70 to start the day. Those are record high low temperatures occurring right now. And there's more of a pressure gradient today. Look at the map with a front approaching from the west. The little high pressure system that came in from southeastern Canada is gone, and now we're back to that warm high pressure system that's to our south. So we're going to have a pressure gradient, and wind from the southwest is going to be gusting past 25 miles an hour by this afternoon. That is going to push the temperature away from the south-facing shores back into the 80s again today. The thickness is about 564, so that's really warm for this time of year. And wait till you see what we show for Halloween. All right, little time out looking across the water there at Yarmouth at the beautiful foliage. So come to Cape Cod to check out the foliage. One of the reasons I'm down here is to help out prepping for the Farm Foundation party this weekend with Jeff Eldridge and all his people working on it yesterday. More on that in a few minutes. And I just met Mike from the Dennis Department of Public Works. He just helped clean out our drain, and Mike says there's a kids Halloween festival at the Johnny Kelly park this weekend. So lots of things going on as we head toward Halloween, and not much in the weather department. There's a front coming in tonight, and it's looking weaker and weaker. Satellite image from this morning, you can make out the fog in Maine. Now the fog is going to be slow to lift with well, actually no, as soon as the wind picks up, that fog will disappear. But the ocean storm that we've been talking about for some time, that went south of us last Thursday, is going to go south of us again tomorrow, and that's an impressive looking storm, but that's going to pretty much stay at sea. You know, I've been talking about how Thursday there could be some surprises. Well, the big surprise to me is that there are no surprises, at least not in the 24-hour forecast. So I think it's safe to say we're just on a roll here. It's going to turn cooler after today. The Boston 5-day shows the temperatures well into the 70s, and with more of a southwest than west wind, it may stay below 80 on this little southeastern Massachusetts corner where you get clipped by those southwesterly winds. But inland, places that were in the 40s this morning, Nashua this morning was about 43 or 44, probably going up to about 82 or 83, so about a 40-degree temperature rise is possible today. And I'm talking about Boston. You can see the cooling trend coming in over the Thursday night and Friday, and then there's going to be another front on Saturday that's going to cool us off even further on Sunday into Monday, but then there's going to be a rebound after that. So why don't we just cut to the chase and just show that Euro, and I don't even think I'm going to stop it. I'm going to just show it slowly with the high pressure that was in southeastern Canada backing off. The wind is from the southwest today, and here comes the front in southeastern Canada. There's a little bit of rain with it, and that completely disappears. And tonight there may be a shower in far northern New England. Tomorrow it's going to be a little bit more breezy from the west and northwest, and so that means down here in southeastern New England will still be fairly warm, 60s, while it cools to the 50s north. And then here comes another front Saturday, and it looks like it's going to stay flat, fairly flat front when it comes through here from north to south. There'll be a lot of clouds. It'll be a fairly breezy day. And there's just a slight chance now for a shower. Best chances in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And then Saturday night, there might be a little coating of upslope snow. That's pretty cold there. You see the thickness is going 540, 534, 528, almost down to 522. And so that's a quick cold shot coming in here. It looks like a hard freeze possible on Sunday morning and maybe again on Monday morning. That's a cold high pressure system that comes in to start the week, but as quickly as it comes in, it goes out. And then there's another low going to our north in Canada, and that's a warm front going by on Monday night. And then by Tuesday, now we get the southwest wind back and we're going back towards 70. And then Halloween Wednesday, a front from eastern Canada all the way down to Texas, and we are on the warm side. Look at all those isobars, windy from the west, and it looks like we could be in the 80s for Halloween here in the Northeast before that front kind of eases in here on Halloween night after trick-or-treat time, and then we turn cooler again to start off November, but almost coast to coast, not that much going on. I want to show another thing. I'm going to show the snowfall forecast because it kind of sets up the pattern for you. Here's the 10-day snowfall forecast altogether from the Pivotal Weather using the Euro. And there's the snow in the west, and it's because they have taller mountains in the west, and there's some troughing in the west, and that's where the colder air is going to be in the northwest. The Cascades, and then all the way over to Jackson Hole, and then a little bit there on Monday. It looks like in New England, Mount Washington may get an inch or two of snow, but most of the snow is focused in the west where ski season has begun. The lifts are operating in Colorado, and it lifts way to the north of New England, and you see a lot of snow there in northern Quebec. So that just shows the ridging in the east and some troughing going in and out in the west. And it's been a fairly extreme pattern with the extreme rain that was in New Mexico and that snow that happened in Colorado, kind of off the charts for October. We had our off the charts October snow a week ago, and we're on the other side. It all works in waves, right? So you had the cold wave with the snow, now you're in the warm wave, and we really could use some rain around here. Red flag warning in Connecticut for fire danger today because it's going to be windy with fairly low humidity, but at least the dew point is up. Did I mention the dew point in Chatham this morning? 59 degrees, so it's almost sticky out, but the feel of summer is here with not a lot going on. So we transition now from the weather forecast to the In-More. In-More is traveling from Weymouth. Yesterday we got some pretty scenes of the foliage coming south, and then getting to Cape Cod and my usual haunts, going by Bass River. And then I'd come over to see if I could offer to help with Jeff Eldridge and Bob Sullivan working on the loaders over there, clearing out. What a tremendous amount of work, clearing this site and flattening and making space for tents and a band and a dance floor for the Saturday event. So that was something else. And also my brother Kevin and Ray have been fishing offshore the tuna quota for October. I don't know if it's been reached yet, so the tuna fishermen are going out there, and Kevin reeled in that fish. Yeah, more than 600-pound bluefin by himself. They landed it, and I think that's being served in Japan right now. So it's fishing season, it's still summer season, the seasons are overlapping, and that ocean storm will bring a bit of surf to the south-facing shoreline. So there's some surf weather, and you're gonna go west for the ski weather. All right, here's the In-More from yesterday, Tuesday. It was October 22nd, I think. Talk to you later. Birds are chirping away. The sun's getting higher in the sky, but it's only about 9:15. But there's this massive cruise ship illuminated by the low sun that I want to make a little time lapse of. They're just beyond the hull gut. I think it's incoming, so this is as far as I can zoom, about 9 times zoom. Let's watch this. Where'd it go? Behind the island. Sometimes you can see it. Got some bird time lapse. bird feeders right behind that shadow on the Alberta spruce. Steve can sit there for hours. TK can make videos for hours. Okay, need my phone back. T-Rex, Steve, just gorgeous. I like when the birds are making more noise than the cars and the planes and the boats. That pussy willow. Once again, that pussy willow is only about 6 years old. I started it with a stick, rooted it. It's out of control. Birds love it though. Stay out there a little while longer, Steve? All right. What do you see, T-Rex? You know what I see? Perfectly still water that is changing before our very eyes. We are witnessing here at about 10:15 a.m. a combination diurnally assisted, that means sun higher in the sky warming the land, sea breeze assisted backdoor cold fropa. Wouldn't exactly call it cold, but it's cool. And you can really see how the air is moving across the water right here from the northeast. Fropa means frontal passage. So very subtle, beautiful frontal passage happening in North Weymouth right now. It's a combination of heating of the day and a bit of a high pressure system coming in to Maine. And our Maine coon cat just disappeared around that corner. But unlike yesterday, he's tied up today, so he did not get away. He just lives for these belly rubs. Freedom! I know. What is the temperature, by the way, in the garden? Which is still in the shade and is most of the day. 63 degrees, 64. Quick run south, 63 degrees, beautiful colors, departing North Weymouth. No, T-Rex is not coming on this one. We get a little bit of a mission going on. Always on a mission for pretty trees and decorations, and we're gonna do some work on my triple booked weekend. Oh, beautiful. Some prep for the Eldridge Farm Foundation fundraiser this weekend. We get weather like this? Definitely, maybe, probably not. Sailing right along. Sign back there said 12 miles, 20 minutes. So sure enough, if we don't have a lot of traffic, we drive too fast and reckless, and accidents happen. It's my theory. Having studied traffic for a long time, usually when it's bumper to bumper, the right lane is faster. However, all other things equal, whichever lane is closed ahead is faster. So the left lane is closed ahead, and that lane has been going much faster. Wave theory on the ocean, in the sky, in the water, and in the car by TK. So once again, all things equal, right lane, slow lane is faster. But if there's a lane closed ahead, that lane is the one you want to be in. Yep. White vans. Seems to me white vans are always in a hurry. fishing. Fore River to Bass River. A lot of boats still in the water. The Center Street Holiday Spook Yard. Whatever season. They're always some of the most enthusiastic. Beautiful. This is the location, deep in the backwoods of where Harwich meets Brewster. Putting up tents, getting ready for a big weekend. There's the famous dirt pile, which this year is probably more like a dust pile. Wagon rides. Taking that pile to another level this year. Not too many places remote enough that we can still have hunting on Cape Cod, but we're near one now. All right, these are smoke shadows and heat waves. Literally, the light from the sun is being bent by the heat coming off of the fire, which is being used, fire, to make room for more stuff.
I was coming over to the farm. I got that, stage coming. I'm gonna start moving. I gotta make my area a little bit bigger. So I want to take the dirt from over by the wood chips and kind of level this area up a little. I'm gonna be out here too.
This is my favorite tool. All the rest of my friends operate stuff like this.
If you can, that's no problem. I was just calling to find out. We're gonna film it coming in. My friend Tim.
He's the
Kelly
film.
is gonna be.
He's the filming guy.
YouTube.
See, Dennis.
You know the weatherman.
You know the weatherman. Going up.
Yeah. So he's gonna be doing it.
He just assumes everyone knows me.
We're gonna move the stage in.
Just a man with a camera and a machete now.
The screener.
It's my favorite tool.
And that sort of thing. Do a few things to get it.
So there's this thing called the Dirtiest Kid Contest, and they climb up the top. It's bigger than ever. Never seen one. That one's about, got to be at least 30 feet high.
Okay.
David and Goliath. Burning bush. See the burning bush? See how the light waves are all contorted? Due to differential heating of the fluid known as our atmosphere. And light from the sun. Excuse me. Yeah, there's the sun. It's in the southwest. And so I just walked north from that fire, and the smoke is following me. So I don't think the back door front made it to Brewster, unless we have some very local thermodynamics going on here. Next to the bog, can you tell? I'm at a cranberry bog. There they are, Cape Cod's finest. Looks like they're trying to do they are doing a wet harvest. Gorgeous evening. It is cranberry harvest season. Maybe we'll cover that topic too. Difference between a wet harvest and a dry harvest. Annie was the last one I knew doing dry harvests. So we're gonna go to Annie's Crannies today, which is tomorrow from where I am standing on this beautiful bog. I think this should be it for the rest of the day. We're not going to go to Bass River. I'll show you the Bass River time lapse. How's that? Over Fallon's Pond.